Thank you both for being here. And I want to reiterate what we just heard in that piece. You are the first African-American woman to do play-by-play on a major network, a pioneer. Black history in the flesh.
Yes.
Tiffany, what does that mean to you?
It's so humbling, and it is evidence that dreams do come true. It's one of those things that I dreamed about as a 5-year-old little girl, and I always wanted to make my mark in this world. I made the transition into play-by-play when I was doing local news, and I wanted to stand out. I wanted to set myself apart, and you don't find success if you don't go out on a limb. Go out on the edge where there is fruit, but you got to be willing to do it. And I am so honored to not only be standing here right now, but to be representing HBCUs. This is the reason why I've made it to this point, is because of the wonderful grooming that I got at a historically black college and university, Florida A&M University, my bad.
There we go.
Gotta throw it in there.
You know, with y'all being here, so much noise has been made about HBCUs, the level of notoriety that it's receiving. It's well-deserved as far as I'm concerned. We can't stop. This is just the beginning. We got to keep doing more and more and more. How do you feel about the state of things associated with HBCUs, considering what's been happening at PWIs and what have you with NIL and all of this other stuff? How are you both feeling about that?
You know, spotlight is good. Spotlight is good. I mean, you're here at Norfolk State, and shout out to Stephen A. Cam, Molly coming here. And before I answer that question, how you like to give? Now, you know about Mr. CIAA. We lost Mr. CIAA. I'm just trying my best to give Mr. CIAA some top tier in Norfolk. But, we've seen the transition. The spotlight has been great. When I played at Howard University, we had 4 nationally televised games a year. If you were lucky, you got one of them. Now, the unlimited exposure that they're getting. Coach Vic coming in here, sharing his stories, his expertise. And, we know it's more than just football. It's always about raising young men. And that's why I was so proud to see what Mike Vick is talking about. He's going to raise young men here in this Hampton Roads area. But unlimited, at the end of the day, we love football. We love football. We've been playing a good brand of football. This brother's brother set a record at Howard when they beat UNLV. Biggest upset in the history of college football. So everybody's connected to an HBCU some way, somehow.
Yeah, not just my younger brother, who obviously went to Howard University, and I would be remiss if I didn't say HU. But check this out, though. I have to pay homage to both of my brothers because I'm this old. I remember watching on BET when you was covering my brother's games at Tennessee State. So these are a lot of things that comes full circle for me. Having this opportunity, like I said, is something that I'll never take for granted. But one thing that, is a question for both of you guys. As you see guys like Deshaun Jackson, guys like Michael Vick, what are you guys looking forward to most and anticipating from this outcome?
I think, the Deion Sanders, the primetime effect was real. But let's be honest. In the history of my sporting career, there's only one Deion. Only one Deion. However, I like the Michael Vick fit here. Norfolk State is home to the second largest HBCU stadium in the country. They got 30,000 fans, so it can work. They love Michael Vick here. You say Michael Vick, they go crazy. It's his hometown, so I like the fit. Deshaun Watson bringing the tie-in from Deshaun Jackson, bringing the tie-in from Philadelphia with the Eagles tie-in. That could be a good fit as well. But you got to pay your dues. You got to pay your dues. You have to learn it, and the administration has to get behind it as well.
I got one real quick, Miss Tiffany. Do you think that there's pressure that Michael Vick has to live up to a name with this? Because we've oftentimes seen head coaches or impact players not be the best head coaches or people in position in team franchises. So how do you feel about it?
I think he comes in with a greater level of pressure because he is a hometown area guy. Sure. For him to have the roots that he has here and the way that he electrified audiences as a player, you're looking for him to translate that in a head coaching role. And everyone is cheering him on, but they're also expecting him to churn out wins. 4 wins a season ago from this program. So now he's looking to take that and build on what the previous staff had I think, though, he has the greatest upside for success, because when you heard from the athletic director, talk about how he can capitalize, and they can capitalize on his recruiting efforts and building up the brand here and making foundational pieces and layering that to help elevate the overall platform of the university. Everybody's talking about Norfolk State right now, right? Everybody's talking about Delaware State, and it's because of their profile that they bring here, and that's what they add that other coaches may not have.
I'm hopeful that seeing Michael Vick, seeing Deion Sanders and others, that you will look at the coaching staffs under their stewardship. And so many others will get opportunities to coach, whether it's at HBCUs or beyond, because they've showcased their football acumen and their ability to lead young men. I'm confident they will be able to do that. What's necessary to happen in order for them to be able to pull that off?
I think an appreciation from those who came before, for those who came before them, right? Making sure that you understand the culture, that you respect that, and then moving forward, how do you have buy-in from everybody? Well, you win. You win. And the proof is in the pudding when you talk about the development of men. Great fathers, great husbands, great employees, great citizens of the country. So, all of those things wrapped up in one, I think, is incredibly important, but also paying respect to those who came before you and just having appreciation of the culture.
There's a map. There's a map for that. Let's not forget, probably the most successful former player that's an HBCU coach was Doug Williams.
Yes.
Doug Williams won national championships when he was at Grambling State, and the administration has to get behind it. Everybody has to buy in, and I think we're seeing that change. A lot of coaches in the past didn't have that opportunity, didn't have the investment in athletics. Well, they're making an investment in athletics, and I think they'll get the reward.
Jay, we didn't give you your flowers. Congratulations on being named to the Black College Football Hall of Fame.
Thank you so much.
We'd be remiss if we didn't mention that.
Way to go, partner. Way to go, partner.
Suited and booted, ready to go. Thank you both so much for being with us. We so appreciate you.
I thank y'all for being here. That's what's up. Give it up.
Thank you. All love. All love.
When we come back on First Take, more from Norfolk. Is being retired at Auburn?
Gratitude, that's not a word for, the real feeling. Appreciation. I just am reminded what Auburn gave me, and that's an opportunity. And what came from it was what, people kind of observed. There was things that was done during that year and throughout that year that it was just the blessings of God, man. And I'm just so grateful to have that and a university to back me and my family, through a very tumultuous time in our lives. But yet, at the end of the day, I'm grateful.
I'm incredibly, where the word grateful comes to for me is having you by my side, having all the contributors, Ryan Clark, Swagoo, Dan Orlovsky, and so many others, my man Big Perk, and everybody else in between, and of course you, my man. I'm so proud of you. And what I love about the fact that they retired your jersey, usually, so many times I find myself saying, damn, couldn't have people done it earlier or whatever? Yeah. But in this particular instance, what I loved about it, so much focus has been placed on your NFL career that we almost forgot what you did collegiately. A national champion, a Heisman Trophy winner, an undefeated season. Record-breaking performances. You've done it. And so when they rewarded you the way that they did, what I loved about it is that it took the football world back to so many great moments that you had given us all. Sometimes because of what you're doing, we forget what you've done. And now we have no choice but to be reminded of it. You deserve it, my brother. Thank you. Congratulations. Happy for you.
Congratulations. And speaking of grateful, I know it takes a lot of energy from our team, and especially here at Norfolk State University, but I cannot tell you how much it means for all of you to show up, to be so engaged, and to be here for us. You made today so special, so worth it on so many levels. And obviously Michael Vick and Cam, hearing that moment of how much Michael Vick meant to you as well. It's just been a tremendous day, and having Tiffany and Jay, honestly, Stephen A., we couldn't have had
Very
a better crowd.
It's been fantastic. Listen, I called them out. I said, damn it, I don't want to hear about class on this one day. 10 to noon, we coming to Norfolk State. Y'all better show up. And y'all showed up. Y'all showed up. I ain't got nothing but love for y'all. Way to go. To my Qs. You know it, baby. Love y'all, man.
Now,
Way to go,
Cam,
y'all.
this is just the beginning of our HBCU tour.
Talk to me nice.
I mean, do you think the other schools are
They
going to
better.
have to top this?
They better.
They better.
They better.
It's one of those situations.
I don't know, Cam.
Let's put it like this. Norfolk State set the standard. So, if anything, this is the floor. You got to go higher and higher and higher.
And I will call them other schools out if they don't.
There
Yes,
we
I
go. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Cam, so great to have you back. Stephen A., I'll see you in the morning. Bye, everybody.
Welcome to the 2025 U.S. Open. ESPN's coverage presented by Heineken 0.0.
Good morning. New York is on a win streak. Another beautifully cool and clear day at the Billie Jean King National Tennis Center in Queens. Conclusion of second round play. And once again, the reigning Wimbledon champions and the favorites to win this year's U.S. Open are booked on Ash Stadium this afternoon. Iga Swiatek, followed by Jannik Sinner. And it's an early day for one Chris Evert as well. Meantime, out on the outside courts, and we'll be checking in there with Mike Monaco and James Blake. Kalinskaya and Putintseva, actually the winner will play the winner of this match, out on court 12. Musetti and Goffin and Tristan Boyer of Stanford. Southern Californian takes on Andrei Rublev. All of the outside courts. ESPN app where you can get ESPN all in one place. Hi, everyone, and welcome inside Ash Stadium. Chris McKendry alongside Chris Evert.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning to you. Tonight, Coco Gauff is also on court. ESPN2 is where you'll find our primetime coverage, Chrissy. Before we dive into Iga Swiatek's match to start our day, let's look back at what Coco did the other night. She has certainly been the story of the tournament, having made a coaching change just on the eve of the event. Tough first-round matchup, Ajla Tomljanovic, who beat Serena Williams in Serena's final match here. She came out, Chrissy, with the same intent and the same excellent play.
I have to give a lot of kudos to Ajla Tomljanovic. She played spectacular tennis, just stayed with Coco this whole match until it got to 5-all. And then all of a sudden, Coco displayed her championship form and, you know, why she wins these slams. But Coco looked good. I mean, she's trying out a new serve, as we talked about. Gavin McMillan has come into the fold to help her with her serve. But look at this match point right here. She threads the needle, hits a winner down the line, and I mean, she had to be relieved. Not played her best tennis, but had to be relieved.
Yeah, she served forward at 5-4, double faulted twice in that game, but ultimately closed it out. After the match, Coco, in her own words.
It's like learning a new language, honestly, even like looking at tag posts of me and like me and Gavin sending each other things back and forth like, oh, like this picture looks good, this one doesn't look as good. And yeah, I think for me, I'm trying to not become as obsessed with it, but it is a bit because I know that this is the part of my game that needs to improve if I want to get the results that I want to receive. And yeah, I'm someone that I'm not making any excuses. It's not a mental thing, it's a biomechanical thing that I had wrong, and I'm just trying my best to get it right.
Well, Chrissy, Coco did have 10 double faults in the match, but when you look at the score line, 6-4, 6-7, 7-5, not so bad. Doesn't want to make it a mental thing.
No, and what Gavin's trying to do with her serve is for her to keep her arms and her shoulders to the right, so she can rotate enough, and that will help the toss up over her head, and hopefully she'll be able to not, you know, bend at the waist, and the head always leads the way with Coco in her former serve, so hopefully she can keep her head up and really reach high. And she started out the match serving like 80, 85 miles per hour, very tentative, very slowly, but I thought that was smart because she just didn't want to start out the match double faulting.
Yeah, she did it. It was with intent.
Yes.
It was intent that she was just getting them in, start the point, and there is no greater athlete out here in the women's game. So get the point started and get moving.
Well, she can back it up with her core coverage. Her movement is stellar, the best mover on the women's tour, and that backhand is stellar, and the fight that she has, the mental toughness.
Yeah, we saw that at the end of the third set. Tonight she gets Donna Vekic. That's not an easy matchup. Donna Vekic was a semifinalist at Wimbledon just 1 year ago.
Yeah, it's going to be a continuation of the journey of the serve for Coco Gauff, you know, just finding her serve, because Donna Vekic is one of the best returners in the game. She clocks the ball. She's going to step inside the line and really go for that, especially that second serve return. That's what she's known for. It's going to be maybe a little better version of Isla's match tonight, and she, you know, it's going to be competition for Coco.
That's been about the match of the tournament on the women's side so far. Look forward to that in prime time. Meantime, 2 other women. Iga Swiatek is playing her best tennis. We're going to see her moments from now. And Aryna Sabalenka, last night she got through the second round against Polina Kudermentova. Very tight first set, went to a tiebreak and made much easier work in the second set. Chrissy, what's your takeaway?
My takeaway is that the first 2 matches, Aryna has struggled a bit in the first sets, 7-5 in both the first and the second round. And you know, look, the first week, I feel like the tournament starts the second week, because the first week everyone's a little rusty and they're shaking off the nerves. But she is the #1 ranked player in the world and has not won a major. And I think that, my question is, will that put more pressure on her, or will that motivate her? Even though she hasn't won a major, she certainly has been the most consistent player in the WTA Tour.
This summer, though, been the summer of Iga. Her resurgence in the first round here took on a Colombian player, Rango, who was really no match. She had fun out there on the court. Iga sprayed a few balls early, Chrissy, first round match, but settled in, and it was typical Iga. Very straightforward in the end on the scoreline.
Yeah, and she likes this court. I mean, she's come to life. Look at her. Just the movement alone is really interesting to watch. But she won Wimbledon, her least favorite, her least successful tournament, and then won Cincinnati. And the second half of the year, she has that confidence, and she has her mojo back. So she's my pick to win this tournament.
I really think it's been an amazing resurgence after not winning a title or even reaching a final for more than a year. She found her game on the grass unexpected, backed it up already on the hard court, as you mentioned, in Cincinnati, and is in the thick of this, the battle for #1. She wants that ranking bag. Here's the scenario. Sabalenka needs to reach the court.